Hello, everybody, and I want to welcome you to my first tutorial that I'm doing here on YouTube. Today, I'm going to show you how to upload custom ring textures to Fire Pro Wrestling World for Steam for the PC using Corel Draw X8. Now, I've been using Corel Draw for, wow, probably going on 14 years now. And, there's a lot of debate um, between, which is the better graphic design program. Is Corel Draw better? Is Adobe Illustrator better? I mean, me personally, I've always, for my own taste, I've always found that Corel Draw has just in my eyes is just so much more simplistic in terms of ability to use all the tools that they offer, and I've always found it easier, had a little bit better understanding, and just been able to pick up on the software quicker than I've been able to with Adobe Illustrator. So Corel Draw will always be my go-to program for any kind of graphic design that I'm working on. So today, as I said, I'm going to show you guys how to make a custom ring texture for Fire Pro Wrestling World on the PC by Steam using Corel Draw X8. Now, basically, on Fire Pro Wrestling World, anytime you upload any kind of graphic to the program, they support two file formats, PNG and JPG. Me personally, I've always preferred PNG over JPG. Quite honestly, I just feel that the quality of the graphic is just so much better using PNG. And I mean, just like I said, is just more crystal clear. I mean, whether you're doing something for print or doing something for the web, like I said, I'll always prefer PNG over any type of any type of graphic whatsoever. So basically, what I have here is this is basically a logo that I created for my quote unquote fake federation that I have on Fire Pro Wrestling World. It's called the International Wrestling Network, and it's basically a pretty simple logo. It's just basically a couple ovals and then a globe centered in the middle. I've got like a silver sunburst going on in the background. I got some gradients going on as well. So it's a pretty simple design. Now you might be asking, why do I have the logo turn 90 degrees? Well, basically when you upload any kind of ring texture, basically this logo I created is basically gonna go in the middle of the ring mat, kind of sort of like on the classic WCW Monday Nitro days, when the WCW Monday Nitro ring had the WCW Monday Nitro logo centered in the ring mat, in the middle of the ring mat. That's basically what I'm doing here. So in order for your logo to be positioned a certain way on the ring mat, it has to be turned a certain position. Now, I could have left it, left the logo straight up and down. That would have been fine, but I've noticed a lot of people, when they upload their logos to the Steam Workshop, they like to have their logo turned, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Now, if I was to have it completely, I guess you would say upside down, it would be kind of silly, I guess, but when your wrestler is walking out to the ring, but I guess it's really depends on what your preference is altogether. So basically what I got going on here, like I said, this is a custom logo I created for my federation. I think I've like maybe made about 3 other logos as well, but this is like probably the most basic and most simple, and it works for what I'm doing on Fire Pro Wrestling World. So basically right now I have this in .cdr format, which just means it's a Corel Draw file. Basically anything you say for Corel Draw is going to be saved as a CDR file. So you might be wondering, okay, well, how do we get from a .cdr to a PNG file, which is what I'm going to have to save this as in order to upload it to the game? Well, it's pretty simple. So anytime you are doing a texture for a ring mat, you have to save your work as 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. That's with any ring mat you do. Now let's say you were to save it as 1026 pixels by 1026 pixels. Now you might be saying, well, that's only 2 pixels difference on both the width and the height. Well, the problem is if you try to upload it to the game at that file size, the game is going to reject it. So it has to be exactly 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. So what I'm going to do here real quick, I'm going to zoom out a little bit on this logo and show you all exactly how I did this. Now, anytime I create any kind of ring texture for the ring mat, what I do is right up here, this is your workspace, and you can set your width and you can set your height. So I just go ahead and I set it at 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. That way I always make sure that I got a good idea what the logo is going to look like once it is placed on the ring mat. Now, also what you want to do, it's always a good idea to, anytime you're making a graphic and you're going to save it as a PNG, you always want to make sure that any work that you do, you want to save it at, you do not want to have a colored background. I mean, you could, but I just find it's easier when you upload it to the game. When you actually go to create your ring, you can just basically change the color of the ring mat to whatever you want it to. So what we're going to do now is, I'm not going to go through all the steps that it took for me to create this logo, because quite honestly that would take up too much time in this video. And really, I mean, if you're somebody who's just starting out in graphic design, that's something you're just going to have to learn as you go along. So right now I have this as a CDR file, but I need to convert it to a PNG file. Now, the problem with Corel Draw in general is you cannot save files as PNGs. I don't understand why. I mean, PNG is one of the most, widely used formats in general, so it's kind of odd. So the way you're going to have to do that to convert this to a PNG, right up here towards the top of your toolbar, you have an import button and you have an export button. So what we want to do, we want to export this CDR file as a PNG, but there's one thing we need to do first. Now, we actually need to put a border around this logo. Now, I already had one, but here's how you do that. So basically what you want to do, you're going to make a square, and you're going to make it 1024 by 1024. Hit enter. And what we're going to do, we're going to center this logo to the middle of the screen, or in the middle of the workspace. So you're going to go to Align and Distribute, Center to Page. Now, here's a problem with doing this. See how you have this black outline around the logo? That black outline is going to show up on the ring mat, which, I mean, I guess it's really not a big deal, but honestly, if you're going to do this and create this, you need to create it properly. So what I like to do is right over here on your line thickness, your outline width, I like to make it to where there's no outline visible. So you're going to click on None. And now the outline is there, but you just can't see it. So then what we want to do, what I usually do is I want to group the outline and the logo, group all these objects together as one object. So now you're going to go to your export, and from this point you're going to have this window pop up. You want to choose where you want to save your logo to. Now I've already have PNG picked on here as the file type, and I've already named my logo, and I'm going to click on export. Now I already have this saved already, but we're just, for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go ahead and replace it. And then you're going to have this window pop up. This is your export to PNG window. Now if you notice here, we have this transparent square behind our logo. Now here's the thing, if we had not put that outline around this logo, what would have happened is when we went to export it, basically this logo would have took up the whole square here. And then what would have happened is once we had uploaded it to the game, what would have happened is this logo would have took up the entire ring mat. Which, I mean, if that's what your goal is, if that's how you want your logo to appear on the ring mat, I guess that's fine. Me personally, you know, I don't want my logo taking up that much space. So that was the purpose of putting the logo and putting that outline around our logo. So now we're going to, what I usually do is I export it as a 24-bit PNG. I like using RGB colors, and you want to make sure this box that says transparency, you want to make sure that's clicked on. That way you have a transparent background. Because like I said, when you go to upload your logo to the ring mat, you're going to change the color of the ring mat to whatever you want anyway. And then you want to scroll to the bottom here, and you want to make sure that your width and your height is set as 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. Because like I said, if you don't, when you go to upload it to the game, if it's bigger than 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels, the game is going to reject it. So then we're going to click on OK. So basically now I've exported my IWN logo here to my desktop. So we're going to minimize our Corel Draw screen, and right here just going to double click on our logo, and there we go. There is our logo. So now you're asking, how do we get this from the desktop to the game? Okay, well, it's really simple. So we're going to right click, and we're going to click on copy. And sorry about that, guys. I have some iCloud program coming up on my computer here. So basically we copied our IWN logo. Now we're going to go into the Windows C drive. We're going to go to our program files, x86. And you're going to look, when you get in your Windows files, you're going to look for your Steam folder, which is right here. Then you're going to go under Steam Apps. Then you're going to find Common, Fire Pro Wrestling World. You're going to look for Decal. And here we are, Ring Mat. Now, you can also use the same method to create a ring apron as well. You just have to remember, for ring aprons, you have to save your work as 1024 pixels by 128 pixels. But we can touch on that in a future video. So then we're going to go under Mat. And just so happens, I've already have this logo saved in here. So I'm not going to bother copying into the folder because, like I said, it's already there. But basically, if you want to, we would just right-click, and then we click on Paste, and it would put our IWN logo in there. I actually have a couple other IWN logos here that I've created. This one's kind of a simple one. And then I have this one. It's kind of, in a way, I was trying to create something kind of resembling, in a way, the old AWA logo. So I created a shield, and it says International Wrestling Network. And I made a slogan for the company where it says "Where tradition reigns," and it's actually pretty cool when you see it on the ring mat. Okay, so from this point, we have our IWN logo in the decal folder for the ring mat. So then we're going to go into the game. Excuse me, guys. I've had a little bit of a cold going on today, but my apologies. And just waiting on the game to load here. And there we go. I actually have my sound on mute for right now because I want you guys to be able to hear me thoroughly. And this is basically what you just saw right there is the stuff I downloaded from the Steam Workshop for the game, like different created wrestlers and whatnot. So basically, now, let's say you wanted to create a ring. So you go to Edit Mode, Ring Edit, and you go to Create. So basically, you would start with the basic default ring. So basically, Spike uses, I guess it's the basic colors for the New Japan Pro Wrestling ring. So then when we go to ring design, so then you basically decide what colors you want your ring mat to be, your rope colors to be. But then you get to the bottom here, and you see texture, ring mat, texture, apron left. Basically, you can even change the textures on the turnbuckles. And what you can even change the texture on the ring post. But let's say we wanted to put that IWN logo on our ring mat. So where it says texture ring mat, you're going to click on it. And then this little window comes up here telling you what file formats are supported by the game. And as we said, for the ring mat, you have to save your work as 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. And then that logo that we created on Corel Draw, I have it saved under IWN logo 2. So once we would create our ring, and let's say that was the file name I wanted to use, we would just click on that, and it'd be in the center of this ring. Now, I've already created about 3 IWN rings, so I'm not gonna go ahead and create a whole new ring here, because I've already created to begin with. So then what we're going to do, we're going to go to offline play, exhibition, normal match. And basically, we're just going to just simulate a match here. And we're just going to use some of the basic default wrestlers on the game. Let's choose Bland Fleming and Max Bertrand. Sorry guys, looks like the program's running a little slow here. And we'll just use SCS Stadium. Now, down here on Ring, I've saved my IWN logo under IWN2 for my custom ring. So that's already chosen. So then we go to Entry Finished to start the match. And we're just gonna go through, and there it is, guys. Our custom IWN logo is in the center of the ring. Now, like I said, let's say that our logo we had just left straight up and down. What basically would have happened is our logo would have appeared on the ring from would have appeared on the ring this way, which is fine. Like I said, it really depends on what your preference is. I guess you would want the logo positioned if it was, let's say, if it was a real show. You just want it positioned wherever the camera angles were at. Now, as you see here, here is a custom ring apron that I made. I just made like a fake Monday night show. Let's say that the IWN was in competition with WWE, so I made a fake Monday night show called Monday Mayhem, and I created a custom apron for it. Basically, it says IWN presents Monday Mayhem, and I actually even went as far as to put down what television channel Monday Mayhem appears on, just to give it a little bit more, lifelike. A little bit more lifelike feel to the game. So, but yeah, there we go, guys. That's how you create a custom ring texture from Corel Draw and put it on the Fire Pro Wrestling World game for Steam. If you guys have any questions, just leave comments below or just send me a message, and I will get back with you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.